Welcome. In front of me is a Xiaomi 14, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device. So let's just get straight into it. So I am a bit late, I guess, to the unboxing of this device, as it was released in October of 2023. So yeah, a little bit behind. But in any case, we have a case, and obviously the phone. I have to say, it looks pretty nice. Let's put it up. Below that, we have something that Samsung should learn to add with their overpriced hunk of crap devices, which is a charging brick. And unlike Samsung, Xiaomi actually adds a respectable charging brick. So this one is 90 watts, as you can clearly see. And we also have the cable, Type A to Type C. And that's everything that we get in the box. So, now, talking about the device itself, it is more on a compact form factor. This is a 6.36 inch device. And the resolution right here is above average, I just call it that. So it is running a resolution of 1200 by 2670 pixels, putting it at over 400 pixels per inch, meaning more precisely 460. Now, this is also a LTPO OLED display with 68 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and a peak brightness of 3000 nits. So, when it comes down to the screen specs, this device is pretty good. Actually, really good. Now, flipping it over to the camera, we have a triple camera setup, and all those lenses are 50 megapixels. So we have a wide, telephoto, and ultra wide in here. So obviously you should be getting pretty good camera results right here. Now, this isn't the ultra version of this device, which I believe has a periscope lens. This one does not. So you have a little bit more limited camera setup, but it's still pretty good. Now, at the front, in this hole punched camera, we have our selfie, and that is a 32 megapixel wide sensor. Now, with the back cameras, you can record videos at 8K 24 frames or 4K at 24, 30, and 60. And obviously everything lower resolution can do all that plus more. Now, continuing on into the internals, we have a bit smaller battery size, considering the device is also smaller. We have a 4610 milliampere battery that is powering a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is the newest processor right now, and obviously a pretty powerful processor. So, flagship. Now, it won't compete with something like the Apple Silicon, but in its right, it's still a stupidly fast processor that is packed into a smaller device than typical phones that are released right now, considering things like the Samsung S or whatever they have Ultras are coming at like 6.8 inch displays, so this is on a lower end. While the display, like I said before, is still pretty good. Now, moving on, we have things like under display fingerprint sensor in here, NFCs and everything else that you'd expect from a flagship device. Additionally, we have, in terms of wired charging, we have 90 watts, like I mentioned before, which is power delivery 3.0 and quick charging 4, which advertised speeds will reach 100% charge from 0 or 1, depending on what they started at, in 31 minutes. That is pretty bonkers. In 31 minutes, Samsung will charge like maybe 30-40%. This will get full charge. And because we do have the option to wirelessly charge this device, you can also look at faster charging speed wirelessly than Samsung can with cable. So that is 100% charge in 46 minutes with 50 watts wireless charging. And we also have 10 watts reverse wireless charging, meaning you can top up your buds if you have some a little bit quicker, assuming they do support the 10 watt charging, or aren't limited to like the 5 that you typically have for reverse. I would assume buds might be also limited to 5 as wireless charging, but that is just a guess. Now, moving on to the last part, which is the memory and storage. We have at the very base entry point, we have 256 gigabytes of storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and you can spec it up all the way to 1 terabyte and 16 gigs of RAM with all the options running on UFS 4.0 storage type. Now, all that doesn't come cheap, to be honest. It will cost you about £900, so this is basically a flagship price for the device, and to be honest, it kind of soils it, as Xiaomi tends to deliver really good performance for the money. This one just seems to be more traditional kind of pricing for the specs that you would expect from other brands like Samsung's and I would say iPhones, but that's not true. But primarily Samsung's, as they are, well, one of the more expensive ones. So this is more in line with this kind of pricing. So if you're looking for a device that is still plenty fast, but want to save up a decent chunk of money comparatively, and you don't care to have like the best cameras that you can get from, well, probably Xiaomi device, or almost the best, as there is an ultra version of this device, then I recommend looking into the Poco lineup, which offers significantly better value for the money while still offering really fast devices. And just to point out, there is the X6 lineup, which is running on Dimensity 8600 plus or something along those lines, which is basically a processor comparable to Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, I think, if I remember correctly. Needless to say, it is still a really good processor, really fast, and should have no problems doing whatever you wanted it to do. And then on an even lower end, there are the Poco F5 Pros, which will come at a bigger form factor and with a Snapdragon processor instead of the Dimensity. So the Pro version specifically comes with a Snapdragon 7 Gen 2, I think, something along those lines. And yeah, it still offers really good performance at even a lower price. So both of these phones that I just mentioned right now cost roughly about half of this phone, while still offering you, well, not half of the performance, but actually relatively close. It's going to fall behind, probably somewhere along like 20 to 30% behind compared to this one, but still I would consider the massive discount in terms of price compared to this one to be a well worth trade-off. Now, with that being said, this concludes the overview of this device. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.